This video is all about what I call stupid human trick number 3. And these stupid human tricks are things we do, ideas, behaviors that we think we're being so clever, so smart, but they're actually terrible ideas that are keeping us poor, keeping us in pain, keeping us alone, and generally ruining our lives. My name is Brent Michael Phillips. I am the founder and creator of the Awakening Dynamic System of Energy Healing and Higher Consciousness. And I'm here with this video to talk all about stupid human trick number 3. Now, before we get into the details, let me just say, to be clear, I'm not calling people stupid. No, I'm calling the tricks stupid. Lots of wonderful, intelligent, amazing people do these dumb things, and it screws up their lives. And the name is inspired by an old David Letterman skit back from the 80s called Stupid Human Tricks, which I thought was hilarious. So again, it's the tricks, the ideas, the things that are stupid, not the people. People can be amazing, right? Just stop doing dumb things and I think you'll like what happens. So let's get into it. What is stupid human trick number 3? It's this: trying to manifest something that can't or won't exist. In other words, aiming for something impossible, not realizing it can't happen. Now, of course, no one does this intentionally, right? But it's what we're doing because we misunderstand ourselves and metaphysics and the law of attraction and how the universe works. So let me give you a contrived example. Let's say you go to an energy healing practitioner. Maybe it's me. And you go, "Hey, Brent, this is what I want. I really want to meet my most compatible soulmate and fall in love, and we want to ride off into the sunset flying on a Pegasus." I would go, I love most of it, right? Can you find a highly compatible soulmate? Absolutely. Can you fall in love, have a relationship, maybe get married, live together, have some kids or whatever? Sure, absolutely. The thing I have an issue with is flying off under the sunset on a Pegasus. Why? A Pegasus cannot exist. It is not a real thing. And in case you didn't know, a Pegasus is a winged horse out of mythology. And so why do I say that? Well, people that know more about these things than me have studied it, and they've realized that if a horse were actually to fly, it would need a wingspan of like 200 feet. And there's no way that a horse's physiology and its bones could support that kind of weight. Impossible. Especially because the Earth's atmosphere is a lot less dense than it used to be. And this is a bit of a tangent, but I love science and history. And so you may be wondering, hey, Brent, if a pterodactyl could fly, big flying dinosaur, why not a horse? Well, back when the pterodactyls lived, the Earth's atmosphere was much thicker. So insects got a lot bigger. It was much easier to fly. But in modern day Earth, the atmosphere is much thinner. There's just no way to create enough lift to overcome the drag of a horse trying to fly. So that's why I say it's impossible. And so stop trying to manifest a myth. It's not going to work. Now, again, this example is contrived. I don't think any of us here is silly enough to really think we're going to meet our soulmate and fly up on a Pegasus. But what I want to call out is many of the things that we're trying to create, our goals, our manifestation targets, are myths, but we don't realize it. And so you have shot yourself in the foot and guaranteed failure coming straight out of the gate. Let me give you an example. In the last video in this series, Stupid Human Trick number 2, we talked about how the myth is that many people, especially if we're poor, tend to think, hey, if I could just have more money, my life would be mostly like it is now, but better because I could use that money to solve my problems. That's a myth. Why? It's not how it works. That is aiming at an impossible target. That's like insisting, I want to meet my soulmate and fall in love and fly off under the sunset on a Pegasus. No, nothing personal, but that can never work. Instead, you might go, hey, I'd like to meet one of my soulmates and fall in love and drive off into the sunset in a car or on a horse or maybe in your own airplane. All those things are real. So just know the idea that your life with more money would be like it is now, but just better because you'd have more money, that's a myth. And if you're trying to create that, nothing happens. What do you think is going to happen if you manifest flying on a Pegasus? Probably nothing, right? And I'm not talking like computer graphics or an illusion. I'm talking actually doing it. Let's say you go do your favorite law of attraction process, put a Pegasus on your vision board, jump around on a stage somewhere and go shout out, yeah, I'm going to fly on a Pegasus, right? What happens is your subconscious just ignores it. Nothing happens. It's not real. So that's why I'm saying the idea that your life with more money would be exactly like it is now, just better because you could have fewer problems because you throw money at some of them, that's a myth. Instead, connect to the truth. Connect to something that is possible within our reality, and I think you'll have a lot more success. And so my experience, like I said in video number 2, is that if you don't have much money, you have a small number of really big problems. Wow, right? And most of them can be solved with money. On the flip side, let's talk about the life of a billionaire. Do you really think billionaires have no problems? No, they got a lot of problems. And here's the kicker. Most of them cannot just be solved easily with money. So just as an example, let's say you have a child that's severely addicted to drugs. Money helps, right? It's nice if you can get him into a good rehab, but that alone can't solve the problem. Until the child is willing and really, really wants to change, you can throw $1 billion at it and it's not going to solve the problem. So the more money you have, you'll tend to have more smaller problems that will be more difficult to solve with just money. So what's really going on here? Well, all these ideas we have, these myths about our life, if we fall in love, if we own property, if we can retire or make $1 million or whatever your goal is, right? A lot of these are actually mythologies. They're ideas and stories that can't be real, at least not with current Earth technology, right? Maybe there are Pegasi on some other planet. I don't know, right? I can't say there aren't. So what's going on is these things that we think we want, they're a form of red herring. So what is a red herring? Let me give an example. I remember back in the 90s, the crop circles were a big deal for a while, right? There were all these crazy pictures of crop circle shows up, can't be explained, da-da-da, right? I remember even when the Led Zeppelin box set came out, it had the crop circles on the cover. And that was back when everyone bought CDs, and it was a big deal. Everyone I knew at MIT had the Led Zeppelin box set, right? We love Led Zeppelin. And so the crop circles were a big deal. But then what happened, at some point, there were a couple guys in the UK that said, hey guys, it's a hoax. And they showed how it was done. And almost overnight, most people lost interest in the crop circles. Why? They go, oh, it was those guys in England. It was a hoax. But here's the thing. That method they used to create those crop circles could not explain all of them. Maybe 70, 80, 90%, something like that, right? Let's just say it was 90%. That method could explain 90% of them. But what about the other 10%, right? There's some number of the crop circles that could not be explained that way. And so what happened was everyone forgot about it. Everyone said, oh, it's a hoax. And of course, it's not everyone, but the mainstream of focus and attention was lost because everyone said, oh, it's a hoax. But no, they weren't all hoaxes. At least I don't think so. But that's the point. That's a red herring. And it works like this. A red herring is something that because you think you found what you were looking for, you stop looking. That's what it is. And so a good example from life would be Area 51. Now, I don't know exactly what happened at the crash in Roswell. I wasn't there. I've never been to Area 51. But I think it's really convenient for the government that all the alien conspiracy people are all focused on Area 51. Why is that? They're convinced that that's where the aliens are. Now, if I was in the government black projects, I would put the actual aliens anywhere else. Why? As long as everyone's looking at Area 51, they're not looking where the aliens actually are. That's my point. And so what can we do about this? Well, it's pretty simple. First thing you should do is this. This is important. So get ready. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit the little bell, share this with your friends. Awesome. Now, of course, I want you to do that. YouTube needs to know if you like this, they'll show you more videos like this, right? But more importantly, sharing information and good ideas with people will improve your life. One of the fastest ways to making more money is to help other people make more money. So that's a simple way. But on a more serious note, what you need to do is work with someone that can help you separate the fantasy from the reality. And I don't mean that in any kind of derogatory fashion. We all struggle with this. My example was a little silly about the Pegasus, right? But many times we're doing something similar. Figure out what's really going to happen in your life if you achieve your goals and aim for that. Another example, a lot of us think when we're young, we fall in love, and if I can just be with this person, I'll be happy forever, right? Love overcomes all. What we find is that little falling in love phase is great, but that's how nature gets us to reproduce. Most people that have been married for a number of years have children, that falling in love doesn't last. It's not a wrong thing, but if you're looking for someone that's going to make you happy for the rest of your life, you will never find that. Why? There's only one person that has the power to make you happy for the rest of your life, and that's you, the person in the mirror. How do we do that? Coaching, spiritual study, meditation, consciousness work. But I think most importantly, getting into the subconscious. I'm not going to do any kind of sales pitch. I'll just say I've developed some amazing technology for working in the subconscious. I used to be a world-class software engineer. Then I experienced a miracle, became a healer. I have some awesome stuff. If you want to check it out, there's some links in the description. If not, please find the person program teacher that is right for you. And at the end of the day, what you'll find is if you're aiming to create and manifest things that are actually real and line up with the laws of the universe and the truth of our reality, you're going to have a lot more success. It's simply a subconscious sabotage. It's a red herring. And if you can see this and make a tiny adjustment in your goals, in your vision board, I think you're going to love what happens. I think you're going to have way more success. It won't solve all your problems overnight. It won't make you happy forever, but it will bring you a little bit closer. And it's not about a big grand slam home run. It's about making small changes on a daily basis that over years and decades result in giant shifts. That's really how it works. That's all I got to say for right now. This is the end of video number 3 in our series on stupid human tricks. We got 5 more cool videos coming, so stay tuned. But for now, this is Brent Michael Phillips signing off. And until I see you next time, please take care and namaste.